Hi there. Let's have a little conversation about pelvic floor strengthening. So the pelvic floor is a group of muscles that basically complete a bowl in the bottom of the pelvis. So if you have your pelvis, everything on the inside here is pelvic floor, from the sit bones, which are the lateral margins of the pelvic floor, and the pubic bone or pubic symphysis to the tailbone. So everything in here, including the inside of the bowl, is made up of pelvic floor musculature. And why does this matter? Well, this is the bottom of the pressure system. So if the muscles are not engaged properly, or there's more of a strain maneuver on the pelvic floor, these muscles can weaken, and they also will not move the pressure in the direction of the vocal folds for phonation purposes if you're pressing down. So we want to make sure those muscles and that coordination is strong, so we can do two exercises in isolation for the pelvic floor. One is the base muscle contraction that helps generate intra-abdominal pressure, and that's a Kegel, or a pelvic floor contraction. So the Kegel is the closed part of the pelvic floor contraction, and the full contraction includes a lift up toward the bladder base. That institutes a co-contraction and synergy of the deep abdominal muscle called the transversus abdominis. That muscle is like a corset in our body, and it goes from the pubic bone to the bottom of the sternum, to the bottom 6 ribs, and also to the spine. So it's really, it envelops the whole abdominal area. Those two muscles together create the pressure we need for supporting and moving air from the lungs, supporting the voice for phonation. So contracting and lifting and releasing 10 times is a good little fast twitch muscle activity. So enclose, lift, release. Kegel, lift, release. Kegel, lift, release. And the release is just as important as the contraction, because when the diaphragm contracts for inhalation, if the pelvic floor is tight, the diaphragm can't move down into the body as low as it wants and needs to for a full inhalation. And then the second type of support exercise is the endurance piece. So more of a slow twitch fiber exercise where you're kegeling and lifting and then sustaining for a count, progressive count. So I start with 2 and then release equal amount of time. So if I do Kegel lift 2, release 2, Kegel lift 2, 3, release 2, 3, and so on. And you work to the level your body is able to maintain the contraction. The goal is 10 seconds or 10 counts. And if you're not there, that's okay. You work to that goal. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of understanding of strengthening the muscles in the pelvic floor. Enjoy.